to another episode of This Ain't It, where we talk about the destructive culture and behavior that continues to lead our youth to death or incarceration. And I'm here live from a California state prison to let our youth know this ain't it.
Waking up in the cell, this ain't it. Life is a living hell, this ain't it. Food tastes like trash, this ain't it. Lord, please forgive my past, this ain't it. What you doing in the street, is it worth it? Death or prison, only two things, that's for certain.
I want to talk about this new technology, man, these global tail link tablets they brought up in the penitentiary.
Break it down.
So, over the last year or two, Global Tail Link, the telephone service provider in California, has rolled out a tablet program, offered, free tablets to over 90,000 inmates, meaning that every inmate in California, every prisoner in California will have a tablet, including the people on death row and so on and so forth. And with that tablet, there's a variety of features, and it's just bringing us into the 21st century and out of the Stone Age, man. And it's really great, man, to have technology in prison that you don't have to worry about getting in trouble for, like cell phones.
What are some of the things you can do now with the tablet that you weren't able to do just 6 months ago?
Well, so on the tablet you have a phone feature, and the telephone calls in California are free from state prisons. So you have a telephone, you have email feature, you can receive video, 30-second clips, you can receive email, you can send out email, and then you can FaceTime. They call it a video visit, 15 minutes at a time. And they're 20 cents a minute. So it's about $3 to get a 15-minute FaceTime going. There's the law library on there. There's a number of podcasts available on there for free. There's a variety of books and resources on there on the tablet that are free. And then they have a paid subscription for movies, television shows, streaming music, and news. So for about $10 a month, you can get all of the features, and you can be good.
Okay. Do you think that's going to be seen by the public as a more positive thing or a negative thing? Because you know how a lot of America will be, saying, why are they able to, get this technology, blah, 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 they're prisoners. What would you say to people like that?
Well, it depends what side of the coin you're on. If you're the family or loved one of a person that has a tablet, you think it's the greatest thing in the world to be able to connect with your family and your loved ones and your friends that are incarcerated. It's great, phenomenal. For the survivors and the victims of crime, I can understand how you would see it another way. Why should they be able to connect with people? Why are they giving them this technology to be able to do these things? They should be getting punished. And that just goes to the whole purpose of prison. Is prison here for strictly punishment, or is it here for rehabilitation?
Right.
Because I've found that this tablet has enhanced my rehabilitation. It's given me an opportunity to connect with people that I haven't connected with in the past. It's given me an opportunity to do things, pursue things that I've been pursuing.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
15 minutes at a time on the wall phone, trying to get my career jump-started, trying to get resources brought into the prison, people who want to run self-help groups and sponsor from the street. I've had to do this 15 minutes at a time with maybe one, if not two phone calls a day. Now I can tap in with people and really let them know what they can come in here and how they can come in here and be of service and help us out and help us get situated and ready for the next leg in our journey. You know what I mean? So it just depends on what side of the coin you're on. I mean, there is no social media. There is no pornography. There is no, there really isn't any vice that you can tap into through the tablet because it doesn't have internet. There's Wi-Fi, but we don't have internet connection. So you can't just be like roaming around on Facebook and Instagram and stalking and, you know,
and that's what a lot of people think. I bet you a lot of people listening,
no,
that's what they picture. A lot of people listening, that's what they picture.
Right. And so the governor, Global Tail Link, the Department of Corrections, they already had that figured out. That's always going to be off limits to us. That's a no-no. I mean, the last thing a person who's been a survivor or a victim should have to worry about is a person that's incarcerated on social media randomly, where you can have access to other people, victims, survivors, and, you know, whoever accounts. You know what I mean? That's a no-no. That's going to always be off limits, and rightfully so. I don't think that we deserve that privilege like that. That should be reserved for when you get past this step and get home. You know what I mean? Because you do have some bad actors in here who would use that feature in the wrong way to disturb people that don't want to be disturbed and that shouldn't have to be. So I get that part. And they had that in mind when they set this tablet up, that you're not going to be able to do that.
Okay. Hey, I know I told you earlier, I think I gave you the wrong date. It's actually Wednesday, July 5th. So I'm the next time I'm free is Wednesday, July 5th to record. Just so you know, write that down. But like I said, you can call me anytime and I'll answer.
All right.
Let's talk about, we have about 5 more minutes maybe. Let's talk about illegal cell phones and things like that are in prison. How do cell phones get behind bars to, you know, you're not snitching. This is stuff that's all over the internet. I mean, I'm sure I could look it up on YouTube, but how do cell phones and things like that get behind bars? Is it mostly from COs to the best of your knowledge, from family visitors?
It's funny that you should ask that because I just read in the San Quentin News paper, the most recent copy, that there's a report in there from an investigative service into that question. What is the entry point for contraband coming into the prisons? And according to that report, the number one entry point is staff. You know what I mean? People on the streets have been led to believe that it's families and friends of people that's incarcerated that bring this stuff in. And the report said that's baloney. Staff are the number one entry point for contraband into the prisons. Namely correctional officers, and then after that, free staff, people who have contracted jobs in here like cooks and nurses and all of those kind of things, the people who fill those positions. And then it went on down the line to list, to rank how the contraband gets in and what kind of contraband is coming in. But yeah, that's always been so, to my knowledge. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And the one thing about these tablets is that it's going to cut into that market. Because now the only reason to have a contraband cell phone is that you got some kind of addiction to porn, social media, or you doing something crooked. You know what I mean? So if you're not in those three arenas, then you have no, I mean, it's like, you know, why would you even, you know, go there, put yourself at risk like that? So that was I believe that was part of the plan too about bringing these tablets in, was to combat contraband cell phones coming into the prisons.
It's a positive thing, I believe, at the end of the day, and I'm glad it's helping you reach your goals a little bit faster. Going back to illegal stuff, I know we have a few minutes, but we've all heard, we've seen the movies, we've seen the documentaries about people keistering stuff, and anybody who doesn't know what that means, it's where you carry contraband and things like that through your anal cavity or whatever the case may be. Best way I can describe it without YouTube striking me. But when a cell phone gets to somebody, is it safe to say that it's traveled like that way, you know, at least once or twice or a few times? Do you have to hide it? You know what I mean? Like that's
Absolutely
that's
not.
Okay.
Most likely, absolutely not. Most likely, it traveled in somebody's lunch pail, and from the lunch pail to somebody's pocket, and from that person's pocket to the receiver's hand. Yeah.
What I mean is when someone.
A funny story, man. The last time I heard of.
Oh, go ahead. Break that down.
I was going to say the last time I heard somebody was trying to keister a phone or something was doing a search. They're coming in the cell real quick. You can't hide it. You can't put it nowhere. Celly locking the door. The dude back there by the toilet greasing up. He try to keister it. Those situations, yeah. But bringing it in, no.
Gotcha.
You know, we heard some funny stories about stuff of that nature, but yeah.
Okay. And let's talk about the bad about having a cell phone. And these are is it safe to say these are usually just like flip phones? We're not talking no iPhone 23s or anything like that.
Yeah, we are talking iPhones and Galaxies, the new notebooks. We've seen tablets. You know, everything short of a laptop. You know what I mean? So yeah, everything, man, has found its way inside of the prisons, and that's one of the reasons why they are aggressively the department is aggressively trying to combat that problem. It's just it was out of control. And California is the capital of it. So, you know, it was a lot of money made in the cell phone racket, millions. You know what I mean? I can't even estimate how much of that stimulus money went towards phones. The prices skyrocketed once the stimulus hit. You know, phones was going for several thousands, you know what I mean, at most places once the stimulus hit. So, you know, it was millions made over the last, you know, when did the iPhone come out? What, 2006, 2007, something like that? That's around the time when phones first started hitting the prisons. So you got to think from that time all the way to now, there's been millions made on contraband cell phones. So it's one of the biggest rackets in America.
Needless to say, there's a lot of upset COs right now who aren't going to be making an extra few $1,000s a year.
I mean, everybody's affected, not just correctional people, but the cell phone companies who had thousands of users that were incarcerated, and they knew they were incarcerated. You know what I mean? And refused to put jamming technology because it would affect outside users. You know what I mean? People on the street.
Waking up in the cell, this ain't it. Life is a living hell, this ain't it. Food tastes like trash, this ain't it. Lord, please forgive my past, this ain't it. What you're doing in the street, is it worth it? Death or prison, only two things that's for certain.